Squirreled Away Books. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and this time we're going to look at books that have been squirreled away and found mysteriously years later, in cases like maybe 15 years later. What happens is everybody that's a book collector or a reader squirrels books away sometimes. You put them in the bookshelf, sometimes you can't fit them in the shelf anymore, can't fit one more book. You put them in drawers, you put them in every places that you can think of. I even know a fellow who has a non-working oven, and he has books stacked in that old oven just to have a place to put the books. So I had a place where I had two pieces of furniture, and there was a kind of a little space in between in the back where we wouldn't find these, and they're kind of out of the way, and I had squirreled these away maybe 15 years ago, and don't really know what's here, but these were just odd items that I put away, and so we're going to take a look at some of them now, see what I found after all these years. And we're going to take a look now, different genres of stuff. And first thing we're going to look at is Murder Against the Grain by Emma Lathan, a Pyramid book. So there's all genres here. Murder on Marble Row, Gaslight Mystery by Victoria Thompson. D.B. Newton, Range of No Return. He's a really good Western author, and this might be one that I want to put on the side to read. David Morrell, Last Reveille, a classic thriller by a classic writer. Might want to read that one also. J.D. Robb. Nora Roberts, the romance writer, also wrote as J.D. Robb. She wrote the Eve Dallas futuristic police series. And this is one of the new thin little paperbacks. That's her. And
is that like a sampler?
No, it's $2.99. Great. It's a great value. It says there right there, and it says it's a great read. So there's a Nora Roberts writing as J.D. Robb, her Eve Dallas series. There's a lot of books in that series, and that's one of those little thin little books. Perma Books, How to Write Letters for All Occasions. Perma published originally. They published paperbacks and hardcovers. The Perma book logo. And this is just a book on how to write letters, and from 1950. Green Door Mysteries, we have a couple of those. The Devil Was Handsome by Maurice Proctor. And The Long Skeleton by Francis and Richard Lockridge. Green Door Mysteries was a crime imprint of Pyramid books. They had the Green Door Mystery, Green Door here, Green Door Mystery. So there was a special imprint of crime for Pyramid, which was a pretty good series. It's a collectible series also. They're pretty nice books in that series. Next one is a big fat book by Loudon Wainwright, Inside America's History of America's Most Famous Magazine, Life magazine, the whole history of the publication of that magazine. So Hard-Boiled Crime Set in Florida. Lucky You by Carl Hiaasen. The Badge, and this is a Badge series. This is the number one, Sundance by Bill Reno. I wonder who Bill Reno is. Sometimes it's James Reesner, sometimes it's other people. It doesn't say here. This is a Lyle Kenyon Engel book production, book creations book from 1987, Western series. Might be good to read. Autobiography of Mark Twain, edited by Charles Nider. Charles Nider had to edit Mark Twain's autobiography. I don't know. Is a Good Western Sliphammer by Brian Garfield. That should be good. That should be a keeper. Some others are the Chance series by Clay Tanner. This was another series. This is number 5, Delta Raiders, and it's 1987. It's by Clay Tanner. but the actual author is George W. Proctor, the science fiction writer. Cold Trail from Fort Smith by Robert Bell is a Ballantine Western, and it's by Robert Vaughn Bell from 1986. Hard-boiled Western. That might be good. Conspiracy of Poisons by J.G. Jeffries, Walker British Mystery. Hoffman by Ernest Gebler, which is kind of similar to Nabokov's Lolita, and it's got a really nice Robert McGinnis cover. You can see Robert McGinnis' signature right down there. Two books in the Willie Delamere series, Western series. First one by G. Clifton Whistler. First one's Purgatory. These are from 1987. These are Ballantine Fawcett Gold Medal books. At this point, I didn't know whether they were Ballantine, whether they're Fawcett Crest or Gold Medal books. They have, it's a gold medal, but it says Ballantine too. And this is Abrego Canyon. It's another one in that series. Blackstone by Richard Falkirk is in 19th century, set in 19th century London with their conspiracy to stop Queen Victoria from ascending the throne. Next one is Charlie Chan Mystery, The House Without a Key by Earl Dare Biggers. And we're going to put those on the side for a minute. Then we're going to look at some Star Wars books. They're numbered from, they're numbered 1 to 6. Actually, I have them out of order, of course. 4, 5, 6, okay. They're digests. They're for younger readers. They're really nice. It's a 6-book series, and they take the Heroes Return, Star Wars Heroes Return, and all new trilogies to take up where Return of the Jedi left off. And it's a 6-book series. From 1992 to 1993. This is the first one. And it has the cast of characters. And they have some nice illustrations inside each book. Type is large. So it continues the Star Wars adventures. But they, I think these are a little off the beaten track. I think these were generally not so well known and maybe not so available today. They might be a little scarce. But the 6 of them, and the first one is The Glove of Darth Vader. The second one is The Lost City of the Jedi. There's the covers. These are the back covers. So that's 1 and 2. Number 3 is Zorba, the Hutt's Revenge. Not Jabba, Zorba. Zorba the Greek. I don't know. The 4th one is Mission from Mount Yoda. Number 5 is Queen of the Empire. They have all of the Star Wars heroes on the cover, so these do continue their stories. And the 6th one, the last one in the series, Prophets of the Dark Side. So that's the Star Wars series. Published for younger readers, and the kids that got these probably destroyed them, and I don't know how many are, if it's that common to find these in nice condition today. So they're from 1993, so they're 30 years old already. So that's that Star Wars series. Then we're going to look through some more. Of course, Louis L'Amour, when you have Westerns, this is the 6th Shotgun. The Glorious Parade by Ted Tomey. It's a history of 1950s television with 32 pages of photos. It's from 1971. I knew Ted, and he was a really great guy. And he did a lot of good books. He wrote some gold medal original crime novels. The next is Big Time by Marcel Montesino. This is a crime police procedural, kind of like the Joseph Wambach books. The Longest Cocktail Party by Richard D. Lello is an insider's view, supposedly, of the Beatles with 8 pages of photos. This is from 1974. Last Chance by Jason Manning, another Western. A Pinnacle Horror, Uncorrected Proof, They Hunger by Scott Nicholson. They Hunger. Mountain Jack Pike. This is number 7 in the Mountain Jack Pike series. The Russian Bear by Joseph Meek. Hard-boiled adult Western. And this is by 1991. It's by Robert Randisi. Very well-known crime author. Happy Days was a fun TV show. Here's one of the TV tie-ins. This is number 3, The Invaders, and it has Fonzie with his motorcycle. There's like a mixed bag of things in this group of books that I put on the side. Next one is A Narrow Action by Harvey Bright, a war novel. And then we've got Agent Brad Spear, 12 of the Dell books of this hard-boiled Western Pinkerton agent. All the covers have good girl covers. He was a Pinkerton agent. He discovered corruption, a defrocked priest turned killer, a fiery woman found deep hidden passion, a saloon was mysteriously put to the torch, and Spear plumbed the depths of his own courage. In this, the first in a series of hard-hitting Western, Brad Spear unravels the plot that took millions and the life of his fellow agent. So here's the first one in the series by Chet Cunningham, The Cheyenne Payoff, book number 1. Book number 2 is The Silver Mistress by Chet Cunningham. And book number 3 by Chet Cunningham is The Tucson Temptress. All of these have the same. I don't know who the cover artist is. It is signed, but I'm not sure who it is. And the back covers, they're all wraparound covers. Well, most of them. And that's number 3 in this series. Number 4 is The Frisco Lady by Chad Calhoun. So we have a new author, and it appears, it doesn't give you any indication of who that author is. And I cannot make out the signature here of the artist, but the cover art is nice on these. Number 5 is The Painted Woman. Number 6 is The Hidden Princess by Chad Calhoun, and it's copyright by our old friend Ron Goulart. So this is Ron Goulart. So Chet Cunningham did the first 3 books. I don't know who did the other ones. Number 5 is by Greg Hunt. I don't know who that is. Number 6 is actually by Ron Goulart. It's an interesting series. Number 7 is The River Beauty. And this is by science fiction writer Neil Barrett Jr. So we're finding something out here about this series. It's very interesting. A lot of professional science fiction and Western writers have written in this series. Number 8 is The Demon Girls. It still says Chad Calhoun, but when you go and look inside, so this is Michael Shanerson. I don't know who that is. Some of the names don't mean anything to me, others do. Number 9 is The Wild Dancer. Nice cover art on these. Nice, good girl Western cover art. Number 9, The Wild Dancer. Ron Goulart again. Number 10, The Lady Rustler, instead of The Lady Wrestler. The Lady Rustler. Lady Rustler by Ron Goulart. Number 11, The Mountain Queen by Chad Calhoun. Number 11 by George Ryan. I don't know who George Ryan is. And number 12, the last book in the series as far as I know, The Gambler's Woman, and it's by Lee Hayes. So there's an interesting series, 12 adult Western books, and some of them written by Ron Goulart, Robert Randisi, Jack Cunningham, and some other well-known authors. So this is the Squirreled Away books. Why did I squirrel them away? Maybe because they're not the greatest books in the world. But on the other hand, there's some things here, interesting things. There's definitely a few books here that I'm interested in, and there's a couple that I'm planning to read. And it's kind of a mixed group of books that I think you normally wouldn't see. I normally wouldn't even know that I had them if I didn't pull them out of that secret location. I can't believe it. Like,
sometimes not put anything back.
Yeah, well, I know. Sometimes it's like you get, when you have a lot of books, you kind of put them in every little spot where you can put them, and then sometimes you forget about them, and that's what happens. But I hope you enjoyed this little look at the Squirreled Away book haul. And if you did, give us a thumbs up, and thanks for looking, and see you next time.